What's up, YouTube? Today we are doing a video of all the stuff. And I only have this stuff from him or her. He, she, it, we, they. The person that runs East Coast Knuckles. And we're just going to go over it in short. I'm not going to be doing any stats. And I won't even do prices because if you are concerned about this stuff, this playlist that this is in will also include the original videos of these. So I'm also not going to flash cards up because you can only use like 5 cards, and obviously we have more than 5 items here. So cards kind of fail me in that way and fail everybody else that uses YouTube. So, and I guess YouTube just doesn't care to change. But we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to start now. So this is an SFK single finger knuckle. And this isn't a super thick one. The mill spin one I've had on the channel is like a monster, but I do like that one a lot. This is like, to me, the kind of the other end of the spectrum. Although it's a little heavier than maybe some of the other ones I have. Just in that you could carry this in a jacket pocket, suit pocket. You could probably, I know all the rage right now is like, you can fit this knife into your wallet, which is like, what? But you could carry this in a wallet, I bet. So I don't know how that would benefit you, but you could. You probably could. And let's say you were walking in somewhere, they pat you down, you could put this at the bottom of your boot. You could probably put it underneath the insole of your boot. If you're actually wearing anything but boots outside the house, why? But no, I have a couple of pairs of sneakers. But yeah, so this is a nice one. And I think he also had versions that had like this indent to rest cigars. I don't really smoke cigars, but it's not that I don't. I guess I just haven't. 2 finger knuckles. This one you kind of have to let rest right there and then just grab it. I don't think you could. Yeah, that would not work. So this is the shark bite pattern. He does not, she does not do this anymore. And I think he's like, does a scallop style now. I punched a wooden beam with this, and it got like just not a bajillion, but a lot for like my channel, a lot of views. And my wrist isn't broken. Yeah, and from the pattern it left on the wood, honestly, if I punch somebody with this, I feel like they would be in a world of hurt, and in ways that I would be interested to see after the fact, but probably not insistent on seeing. This is another 2-finger knuckle. It's got this skull on it, which I think is neat. It's got 666 on it, which I think is neat. This kind of acts like almost a palm load or a fist load, whatever they're called. It's got a nice brace on it. Whichever way you hold it, it's gonna lock in pretty naturally. And obviously they come to these kind of conical points, kind of like the studs that punks wear. If you ever leave your house and go to like a music venue, you might run into one of those fellas or females. And they'll probably be assholes, to be real honest with you. Yeah, I like that one though. This is the spade he did from a few years ago now. Not entirely perfect. Especially you can see it when you look at the rest of the stuff that's like the more, newer stuff. Uses the conical points. I like it. I think it works or feels very, very nice in the hand. One of the few knuckles I have that wants to, I should use the pointer, wants to run right, kind of like a little bit above the crest, but definitely above the knuckles, like right above. All right, moving right along. This is the bulldog. Somebody commented in a video and said, that looks like a dog's paw. And you know what? It kind of does. I like this one. It feels really, really nice. It wants to ride just above the crest. I don't know if it would be, I wouldn't punch anybody like this or anything, like a pole maybe. But I really do like these. They feel very comfortable. I can't stress that enough, but I'm just gonna say it once and probably move on. I like these. I carry them. So these are the slants, and this kind of looks like a screaming monkey that has its hair on fire, but it's happy about it for whatever reason. I mean, who knows? But like, we'll get to the screaming frog next. This one also kind of wants to ride just above. So obviously you've got 2 points, corners really, and this has more of points because you would have to hit them, so there's just not a lot of ways to like actually get to that. But when you think of it more on like a 3-dimensional plane, these turn into points. And I mean, look, this is a metal fist basically. Actually, a little bit of trivia that I'll spit real quick and move on is that around the world, pretty much everybody knows that this is made by English people. And it's called the English fist. There's a bunch of different names. Read the Wiki, it's pretty interesting. But it's just funny that, like, you know, a samurai sword, we know where that comes from. Other people know where this comes from. So it's just, it's an interesting interaction with, you know, real life. This is a screaming frog. I didn't get it in patina because I am silly, I guess, sometimes. So I blacked it out, so it looks a little bit different than the rest. I like the screaming frog. I've also seen places where it says that this is an American pattern, an American in particular pattern. No idea if that's true. That could be true. I'm also not like hugely concerned. If you really want to know, you should ask a maker while you're buying something from them. Find them on Instagram. I'll put his Instagram down below. It might be after this runs, but just go to another video that's in this playlist. It'll be there. It's got a nice heft to it. It's not too much though. You can have kind of the thinner motorcycle style gloves and wear this. And I do think it looks like a screaming frog. It's a little bit, so this is a little bit bigger though, obviously, than like say, not a whole lot bigger, but you can tell, you can for sure tell. This is a bladed knuckle duster. This is a very substantial blade that has a groove here, which I guess could be for, I don't know what you could rest in it. But what I do know is that usually on knives, they're called blood grooves, and they break the suction that is caused when you thrust something into someone. Back in the day, like World War II, people do say it was helpful, but if you, I guess this gets away from like this, but if you were to stab and then want to really do something, I would suggest you do it every stab, is that you twist and then you pull it out, because then it won't close. But if you don't do that, I mean, it's interesting that flesh sticks to steel. So that's going to be. Anyway, back to these. This thing is very pointy. And I mean, pointy enough that potentially, depending on what you're wearing, if you were to wear this or carry this down like this, and like, I could see this going through some certain kinds of fabric. So it would take a little bit longer to get on, kind of either way, because having it rest in your back pocket like this, listen, you're gonna have to, this is bigger, right? And it's got a point now, so it's gonna be harder to carry. But this point, I bet I could, I bet I could put this through a coconut, honestly. I would bet money on that. I would 100% bet money I could put this through a coconut. As far as more than that, I just don't know. I can't think of anything harder than that. That you could definitely put it through a watermelon. Dude, you could drop this onto a watermelon and put it into it. It would just sit there. But yeah, so this kind of increases your ability to do this, and probably other techniques. But this is pretty cool. It's heavy, and it's kind of one of the few times where a weapon, but this one's obviously functional, but kind of like, you know, if you watch other people's SAPS reviews, and rightfully so, they point out like the end of the swivel on the end of this, because I've seen recently Foster made he probably has several, made a pattern that had a stud on the bottom, like a window breaker, kind of. It was probably just a stud, but it looked very pointy. But you know, there'll be like swivels sometimes on the bottom of SAPs, and people kind of get carried away with like if you did this onto their face or head, it would open them up. Yeah, maybe, but it's kind of for me like grabbing a bat and be like, man, I'm gonna slam the butt of this on somebody. Like, why would you do that? You're totally skipping what is going on. But this, in this application, is pretty neat. Probably talked too long about that, but this is another kind of screaming monkey looking thing, but I don't think that this one's on fire, and it looks happy. Well, this one also looked happy, but this one looks even happier. More distinctly happy. So obviously this is heavy. It's also a Billy Trident collab. I didn't get this patinaed, so I blacked it out. I should have just got the patinaed version. That's what I would suggest. And obviously it's got these points on them. So, right? A nice weight to it though. And you could probably run them like that. Damn, I don't know if I could. Maybe if your hands are ginormous. But, and I got big hands, so your hands would have to be pretty sizable. Pretty neat. And then we've got this pattern. It's an old one, kind of a classic, the Boxer. And this is an aluminum, but he also offers them in iron, and I think, well, brass probably too. There's several variants. I got this one because it's super light, and it was a little bit cheaper. And I'm as a collector, I don't know, dude. Collecting is so weird. It really is, because I also collect knives, obviously. Look on the channel, I collect more than one thing. But I was like, yeah, you know, that's a good deal. So what's interesting is, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but as with a lot of patterns I see that are like real nice, professionally done, they're asymmetrical, I think almost intentionally a little bit, but you can use them either way. But this one, you've got these things that they almost seem to want to aid you when they're held like this in dusting, which is a pain compliance technique. This way, I mean, yeah, you would be kind of catching, but either way, they're gonna do what they need to do. And these are pretty small, honestly. But I mean, you could run them, I think. Let me see. Yeah, you could run them just kind of like right on the other side. But I mean, I don't know where they would. Yeah, that's too much. Hang on. I find that when I let these just rest in my hand, and I do this with my hand at my side. Okay, there we go. This is where I would use them, for me. But as we've kind of discussed before on the channel, obviously my hand's not the same as your hand. The piece that you have isn't the same piece I have. So without those two variables being static, it's going to be really hard for anybody to be like, you should do this, or it's going to be individually, right? I think I explained that well enough. And on the non-aluminum version, these are a little bit more pronounced. But obviously this, hang on, I have a pointer. This kind of allows for obviously hammer blows. You could also do like the clothesline. I forgot the actual name. I forgot the name for it in karate and taekwondo. I don't really know the Muay Thai names, but for that, but this would like make it game ending. But yeah, super nice. I think that he offered this also patinaed, but I don't know if he did or not. I don't know. I don't remember now. I'm sure the video that is in the playlist that this is in will maybe eliminate that. But this would be really easy to carry. It's light and very traditional and just pretty neat. I don't know if this actually has a patent on it anymore. I'm gonna guess probably not. Yeah, I would just have to. Hang on. Yeah, my hands are just almost, I would say, too big for these, but they still fit really well. They're just smaller, right? I could use them like that though. I can't do it on camera with my hands down to my sides. I can. Anyway, so in aggregate, what do I think of what he does? Obviously, she, what they do. I like it because I have more than one. I mean, that's not an insignificant amount of money. And I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. There's a variant that I think he's moving away from that's not this one, that is like super chunky. I didn't get that one. He has different, but I will say he has a pretty decent selection of price points if you're looking for variants of knuckle dusters at different price points. He's got stuff for big hands, small hands. He's got stuff with points, studs, blades. He's got stuff that looks like frogs, monkeys with their hair on fire, dog footprints, skull with the devil's number on it, something that looks like a shark bite. So obviously, like, this is going to kind of, I mean, no matter what your trigger is, he'll trip something. But, so yeah, check out his stuff. I think that he's doing it pretty good, pretty awesome. And, yeah. I guess as far as critiques, I don't know. I don't know, man. Because so much of it has to do with the weight, carryability, what you're looking for, what kind of striking you want, because you want to be able to abrade the skin in like a dusting motion, or if that's not going on, then at least, because the dusting thing is, I mean, like, I imagine cops did it to people when they would not stop resisting, because back in the day they don't have tasers. I don't know if I would use a taser as a cop these days. It seems like I mean, maybe, but yeah, so they had to make do with what they had, and they had these, and they had saps and stuff, and like guns, obviously, batons. But as far as what you're looking for, oh, as far as storage, he sends these in this thing. So I do use these. I also got these like sunglass case things. They were cheap. This is an American company, but these were made in the Philippines. But these are pretty nice canvas YKK zippers, and I can easily fit all those in there. So yeah, if you're looking for something along these lines, check them out. If you have specific questions on certain models that I don't answer in this video, or the other videos, then I would suggest that you go speak with him directly, because I don't necessarily have all the answers that you might want to ask. So that's what I would do. As far as if I could only choose one, see, that's a thing though, is because even though, you know, this is it's like, I don't know, it's like guns or like knives. Some of them are apples to oranges. You know, these are going to be a little bit smaller in profile. Then you get to like the bigger stuff, and then you get to the stuff with like studs, spikes, blades. I should just put it like this. But as far as storage, I would not just let them bang around. I think that's cringy. And I also wouldn't just keep them in like a box. The way that I do it works for me. If you got more, you can obviously do whatever you want, but I would just suggest that you not allow storage marks to, I sound like such a collector, but just to like tarnish, you know, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And if you just take a little bit of prevention, it can go a long way. But yeah, that's about all I shoot out for this one. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye now.